everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to do my first half of December wrap-up. So, the first half of December has flown by. I don't know, like this year it was an early Thanksgiving, so like last year I think it was maybe, that I was like, oh, well it's flying by because Thanksgiving was really late, so then everything just kind of spiraled. Well, this year was kind of early, and yet I still feel like the month is just like flying by, and I don't know what's going on, but I am also in a slump, like slump with a capital S, you guys. And so before I like gathered my stats and all that for this month, I was thinking, gosh, this is going to be like, I don't think I read very much, all that. And honestly, my stats don't look that crazy different. And so it's really interesting, like getting in the mind of a reader and thinking through all of this is really interesting to me. So let's get into the stats. As always, I will give you guys my stats for the first 2 weeks-ish of the month, and then go through the books in the order that I read them, except within age ranges. So I'll do middle grade, young adult, new adult, blah, blah, blah. And I will have timestamps down below. So let's just get into the books. First, I'm going to tell you about the books that I read with my kids, and then I'll tell you about the books that I read for myself. So the first thing we read is Christmas Joy by Lawrenz, and this is Christmas Joy for Kids. So this is a really quick devotional that we did. We do a few different Advent devotionals, and this one, my daughter, my 5-year-old, is reading this, and so she would read it to us, and then she would read a couple pages and all of that. So it talks about like just a singular word that is involved in the Christmas time. So different names for God, manger, wise men, some of the significant things, and it gives a Bible verse and then talks about it a little bit. So this is really quick. It's one we do every year, and everybody seems to enjoy it. So there's that. Then, you guys, we finished one of my favorite series. We finished The Critter Club. So, The Critter Club by Callie Barkley is a currently 26 book series. I think there's maybe 27 coming out in March. And this is a series that, honestly, I mean, my 5-year-old can and does easily read this by herself, but I love them, so we read them together. It's about a group of 4 girls that form the Critter Club, which is basically like an animal rescue center, and one of their moms is a vet, and so along with her and then the gal who owns the barn where they house it, they all take care of these animals, and there's always different animals, but there's also the friendship dynamics between the group, and I would say they're maybe first or second grade, so this is really great for that first, second, early chapter book age kids. So we have Amy and the puppy whisperer, Ellie tames the tiger, Liz is pie in the sky, Marion's got the butterflies, Amy and the Emerald Snake, and Ellie's Spooky Surprise. So they also do have really seasonal ones. So this one obviously came out around Halloween, and they're just the best. I love this series so much, and would love to own them all because they're just so fun. So finished that, and we're all really sad about it. My daughter has asked, she now has the first couple from the library, and she's rereading it by herself. We love it that much. So next, we read Mercy Watson is Missing. This is a brand new, it came out December 5th, and we were somehow first on hold at the library for this. So this is number 7 in her Mercy Watson series, but there's also a series that's called The Tales of Deckawoo Drive. So Mercy Watson, this is by Kate DiCamillo. She is a pretty profound, prolific, there you go, author of middle grade children's book. And Mercy Watson is a series about a couple that takes in and domesticates this pig named Mercy, who loves hot buttered toast. And I don't think my kids had ever had hot buttered toast until they got this, but they started this series when my oldest was 2.5. She loves this series. And so in this one, this is the conclusion to the Mercy Watson series, and I think the Tales from Deckawoo Drive series. So Deckawoo Drive is where they live, and there's a bunch of different characters that live on the street. And in the Tales of Deckawoo Drive series, you get all of their stories as well. And yeah, this is the conclusion. So Mercy goes missing, and everyone bands together to find her. And it's in and of itself, not the greatest, not my favorite in the series, but you get to see everybody for the first time in one book, and that was really fun. These are also books that I would say maybe first, second grade could read independently. There's a fair amount of pictures. There are some pages that don't have pictures, but mostly every page are pictures, and so this is a great series if you're looking for one. Wholesome, cute, clean, love it. So that's everything we read together. We have been reading a lot of Christmas books and all of that. So our chapter book reading hasn't been quite as much, but we've still been picking some great stuff. And so then for myself, I did read one middle grade. I read Anne Frank's Diary, the graphic adaptation. So I read a graphic novel by R.E. Folman that was a bringing to life Anne Frank's imaginary friend named Kitty, and I loved the writing style, really liked, or the art style, really liked the book in general, and so I knew he had done this, and I wanted to do that. Mostly, though, I was trying to, some of my tips for slump busting are read a graphic novel or something that you know is going to go super quick, just to kind of get you back. Like, these pages turn pretty quickly, and so you can finish this in just a day or two. Or a sitting or two, or, if you don't have little kids, maybe half an hour or an hour, I don't know. But, yeah, so you can do I'm trying this because it was something I'm very interested in. I've been down a World War II / Anne Frank rabbit hole lately. So I knew I was really interested. I knew this would turn the pages quick, and I really enjoyed this. It is, so there's some pages that are very full of text and some pages that are not. And he or she, I don't know if Ari is a man or a woman, but wrote a long afterword about kind of how they decided what to put in here and how they decided to format it, because this is not her entire diary, because it's not very long, and with the amount of pictures, it would be huge if it was the entire diary. So trying to kind of parse out what's important, what's not, and then also leaving some of these things as either an actual letter that was written from her, or I can't think of the word, putting together a few different letters to express the same point. So this definitely is an adaptation. It is not direct text all the time. It is, a lot of it is direct text. But it is, I just love the art style. I really love, I feel like you get the character of Anne in these, and just how, how deeply feeling she is, and some of the things I could really relate to. And it was just, gosh, it's such a hard thing, and when the diary just ends, it just ends. And knowing how everything worked out, you guys, I'm down a rabbit hole hard. But so this was great. It didn't bust my slump, but it's great. It was a great strategy. Other slump busting tips, that's not really why you're here, but I'm going to tell you, read something short, read something in a different format, graphic novel, whatever. Watch as much booktube as you can, because booktube always inspires me to read more, because I want to either know what other people are talking about, or I want to, it just motivates me to see other people reading and stuff, motivates me. So I've been doing a lot of that, been doing the graphic novel thing, but I've read ebook, audiobook, all that kind of stuff. I didn't even go through the stats, you guys. I am off, but I'll do that at the end. Anyway. So let's keep going. So now I did read, that was middle grade. Now I did read a young adult. So let me grab that. Okay, I read The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. So The Princess Diaries is kind of one of my go-to comfort watches. I don't know why. The first movie, I just really like it, and will watch it occasionally. And I heard the books are way different, and they definitely are. They have the same vibe of teen angstiness. So this is about a girl who is a regular girl. In the movie, she lives in San Francisco. In this, she lives in New York. And she's a regular girl, kind of, frizzy hair, not one of the cool kids, if you will. And she finds out that she is the princess of a small country named Genovia. The way it all happens is different in the book than the movie, and her dad is the prince, and she doesn't know that. But they're way different, and so I thought it was really interesting seeing this. I don't know how many books there are in the series, 4, 6, something like that. If you know, let me know. I'm curious to read on, but I almost feel like it's I need to separate the two in my head, because it is so different. This is kind of a different story with the same vibes, if that makes any sense. But I enjoyed it. So this is another thing, an easy YA. It's short. I already kind of know the story, and so I was thinking, hey, this'll get me out of my slump. Didn't work, but I did enjoy it. And then I read some new adult. New adult is not a genre I typically go for, because I don't love the steam that normally comes with it. New adult, I think, encompasses 18 to 22 or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the age range is. That's just what I like would kind of classify as new adult, like those college years kind of. So yeah, it's normally a lot of like steaminess, and these ones were somewhat an exception. Let me show you what they are. So small spoiler alert, I read these for my book haul revisit, so I'm not going to talk a lot about them right now, but there maybe someday, maybe not, and maybe now, by Colleen Hoover. So I know some of you, it's like you hear Colleen Hoover and it's a hard pass or hard go either way. I would say I'm generally a big fan of hers. This series was not it for me. This is one of her older series, and this is about a guy and a girl who they meet on their balconies. They're like in the same apartment complex. He knows that her boyfriend that she lives with is cheating on her with her best friend. She doesn't know. They strike up a conversation over text, and our main male character, he is deaf. He cannot hear, and there's a lot that goes on. This first book, chock full of cheating. He's got a girlfriend. She breaks up with her boyfriend, but he's got a girlfriend, yet he's got feelings for her. They write music together. They do musical things together. Chock full of it. He ends up picking a girl in the end, and there's that. So then this little novella afterwards is from his roommate's perspective. It's pure steam. Hard pass on that. And then this book is the girl that he did not pick. It's her story. So, yeah, stay tuned for my book haul revisit to hear more of my thoughts on that. But let's just say they're not going to stay on my shelf for long. So that's the new adult. Now let's get into the adult books. Okay, so now the adult books that I read, one of them is Raising an Emotionally Intelligent Child by John Gottman. So John Gottman is a well-known kind of like self-help author, and he talks a lot about emotional intelligence both in adults and children, and I thought this was really insightful, and it helped me think of a lot of ways to like help support my child or children and their emotions, and help them to kind of identify their emotions and express them in healthy ways. I really enjoyed this and would like to own a copy just to continually reference. So I really enjoyed this one. And then the last two are ones that I read for my book haul revisit. So again, I'll be brief, but this is The Secret She Keeps by Deb Caletti. This is about a woman who finds another woman's card in her husband's pocket. He lies about it, so she assumes he's cheating. At the same time, her elderly aunt is needing some help, so she goes to help her aunt on what used to be a divorce ranch. So high-profile people would go there to get quickie divorces. Don't really understand how that works. Don't really know. So we're getting now and then timelines, and the then timeline I really hated. Didn't love this. And then Unbroken by Laura Hildenbrand. I will tell you guys, I had an unpopular opinion. I think this man's story, it's the story of a man during World War II. He, prior to World War II, was a record-breaking runner, and then was drafted in the Air Force during World War II, has a crazy experience. His experience is not what I'm rating low. His story even is not what I'm rating low. It's the writing style and my enjoyment of this I did not enjoy. So there's that. So that's all the books that I read for November, or the first half of December. You guys, goodness gracious, it is a gloomy Saturday today. We're about to take the kids shopping for Christmas, and yeah, it's going to be super fun. They are doing something that is going to be a video idea for me after Christmas, so just hang tight. Well, I guess I can tell you, both my big kids, my husband's taking both my big kids to the library, and they're going to blindly pick 3 books for me, and then, yeah, I'm going to see, they're going to wrap them up, and then I'm going to see what they are and read them for you sometime in January. So that's what we're doing today, as well as some other shopping. I'm going to take one kid at a time, and they're going to shop for each other, and, all the things, but let's get into the stats. So, stats for the first half of December. I read 9 books. That's a total of 2,835 pages, which is 189 pages per day. Nothing to sneeze at, but you guys, goodness, I'm not loving it. 315 pages per book, so the average is 0.6 books per day. I read 7 novels, 1 graphic novel, and 1 novella. 4 were adult, 3 were new adult, 1 was young A, YA, and 1 was middle grade. 6 were from my shelf, and 3 were from somewhere else. I read 8 using Libby, and 1 just from the library. 6 were on audio, 2 were on ebook, and 1 was physical. I don't love ebooks, and so I'm wondering if that's part of the slump. All of them were backlist. 3 were romance, 2 nonfiction, 1 women's fiction, 1 magical realism, 1 historical, and 1 contemporary. And then as far as rating goes, I had 3 2 stars. I think that's where we're kind of hurting. 3 2 stars, 1 3 star, 2 3.5, 1 4, and 2 4.5. So it averages out to 3.22, which is really not great for me. 3.5 or above feels like an okay, pretty good read. Below that, meh. So all those 2 stars were kind of killing me, but let me know how the first half of your December went. Stay tuned for my book haul revisit. I feel like I was kind of short because I don't want to spoil that video for you, but that and many more are coming. I think I hauled like 61 books or something in December of last year, so hang tight. Here it goes. But we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.